Hello students, how are you? Today the lecture is now introducing the promise which I made to you, that is regarding a new operator in our life. Now this new operator is known as by the name J, so it's a J named operator. It's the fifth lecture in the series of the alternating current, where we have been doing in detail about why the alternating current is so important, why it is preferred over a DC, and hope you are also making the notes. You know that you can play, pause, and then make your notes also, right? And today we'll be doing some new thing. We will be doing some questions live, and you can WhatsApp your solutions immediately to me, right? That's like you can solve live with me, and let's see that I solve faster, you solve faster, and you kindly send your solutions to me on the WhatsApp. You would have got a message to on which WhatsApp number you need to send your solution live. Okay, so let's kickstart a lecture for today, and lecture, as I said, is going to be once again a great lecture. Right now see, this is an animation which I wanted to show yesterday also. See, this is a AC generator, and this is an AC generator, but what we have done is there is a DC input and an AC input. So in this we have provided a DC input right now, and because of which what is happening, this is a DC battery coming into this. So you can see that what happens in a DC. It's a smooth flow of these charged particles, which happens in the case of the DC, and that is with the drift velocity. You do remember that at a 10 power minus 4 meter per second, while the electric field propagates with the speed of light, but the electrons drift, the charge carriers drift with the drift speed, right? Okay. And then we disconnect the DC idea and come into the AC idea, the alternating current idea, and what do you find? What is happening over here? They are moving, coming back. See, the current is because of the motion of the charged particles. We did not say just it is the linear motion of the charged particles. We said the current is because of the motion of the charged particles. So this is like a linear motion. And this is like what oscillatory motion. So observe this. Moving here. Still there is a motion. Of the charged particle. All the charged particles are doing the same thing. They're oscillating. And so we are able to produce the AC, EMF and the current, right? And see who generates that? So that's the AC generator, and that's the principle we have done. We have also created the graph for it, that this is a continuous movement of the coil, which basically generates the flux and the induced EMF, and that induced EMF generates for the current. Good. Chalo, आगे बढ़ते हैं. And the phasor has an imaginary part and a real part. So how many times you are going to say that? And then there is supposed to be the leading part, it is going to be a lagging part. How many times you are going to say that? Again and again I am going to say that. So now we come to the J operator. What's a J operator? It is like a mathematical operator, but specially designed for the physics. It basically changes the phase. Once again, it basically changes the phase, but by a discrete value. What is a discrete value? ऐसा नहीं है कि आप 30 डिग्री से फेज चेंज कर सकते हैं, आप 40 डिग्री से फेज चेंज कर सकते हैं, हम 97 डिग्री से फेज चेंज कर सकते हैं. ऐसा नहीं है, ऐसा बिल्कुल नहीं है. So it's not an ordinary operator. It can just alter your phase by pi by 2. Only pi by 2. Only 90 degree. That's the special thing about this. Now see, suppose you have a phasor over here. That's a phasor. Let's say the phasor is denoted as A. That's a phasor A. You say, sir, it's a vector or a phasor? I said phasor. And then you want this phasor to rotate. Why do you want the phasor to rotate? Because the phasors are basically rotating vectors. So you want to rotate this by how much? You are only allowed by 90. So you give a command. What do? You give a command. J times A. How much? J times A. And so what happened? So what happened? That the phase of this increased by, what happened? Phase of this increased by how much? 90. And that is what is a J operator. What is it does? It basically increases the phase by 90. So it becomes a leading phase. It becomes a leading phase. Of course you do remember that part. Of course you do remember that part, that this is supposed to be lead and this is supposed to be lag. You do remember that part. And then you give once again the command, sir, once again J times of this. Achha, the J times of this, that becomes J square A. So further it rotates by 90. So now it becomes like this. Now what is it? That is J square A. So that's pretty cool, sir. What are you doing? Sir, I am just increasing the phase. I am just increasing the phase, but I am allowed to do only by 90. So what does the J operator does? It alters the phase of the phasor by 90. Oh, that means pi by 2. That is what is a J operator. Now see, if you analyze this like a vector, so see, this vector is opposite to this, anti-parallel, opposite to this. So which will allow me to comment that J square A should be minus of A. Too cool, too simple. It is anti-parallel to this. So it should be J square A is equal to minus of this. So A gets off, so J square becomes minus 1. You say, yes sir, it's like a complex number, algebra, mathematics once again. So what is J? That's root of minus 1. Sir, we used to say iota. Over here it is a J operator, that's a value for this. It's a value for this. You will not be using the this format. Of course you can use the this format. So that will be important for you. Now we say, we once again do this operator. अब तो मजा आने लगा सर, हम तो दोबारा करेंगे. So we do it again. We do it again by 90. So this time it comes here and it becomes J times of this. So that becomes J cube A. Or you could have directly written, no? That's the minus of J. It's opposite to this, no? So it's opposite to this. Opposite means a phase difference of pi. J cube A. So you can play J square minus 1. So it is J square minus 1. This will be equivalent to how much? J square minus 1. So that's minus of J into A. So that's opposite to this. Replacing J square as minus 1. And then what happens? Sir, I need to complete this idea. So complete it. On completing it, we once again reach here, back. So multiply this by J, that becomes J4A. That is J4A. So what is J square minus 1? What will be J4 plus 1? And hence that becomes back as A. That is what is a J operator. Easy? It's damn easy, sir. Now I do one more thing for you. जब समझो तो पूरा समझे, आधा क्यों समझे? This is a phasor A. Someone gave me command J times A. I said okay. So that becomes J times of A. Now someone gave me command minus of JA. That's also cool for me. So what is minus of J into A? That becomes minus of J into A. So I think you're getting the point. If you multiply this by J, it gains a phase. And if you multiply this by minus of J, understood? It will lag the phase now. It will lag the phase. So it's a leading and lagging idea. And it's actually basically merging with the previous idea. Anti-clockwise, we are leading. And so clockwise, we should be lagging. So this is going to lag this by pi by 2. And this is going to lead this by pi by 2. And how do we use the command? Plus of J, increase, lead. Minus of J, decrease, lag. Simple. So where are we going to use it, sir? We're going to use it in the combination circuits. In the combination circuits. This is what I've explained to you. A phasor E, now anti-clockwise, 90 degree, that becomes J into V. That means this is leading this. That's exactly what I explained to you. Example J, then J square, then J cube, then J4. Now suppose we have a RL circuit. What do we have? An RL circuit. Or I have an RC circuit. So how do we analyze it? Sir, I will be sketching a diagram for it. So let me do so. So there is a resistance and there is an inductance connected to the circuit. Correct? And now what happens? So what happens? This is having a voltage of how much? VR, and this is having a voltage of how much? VL. So what is the net voltage? And we were in a fix that we cannot use V equal to VR plus VL. V cannot be equal to VR plus VL, and we were searching for the reason that why we cannot write like this. Reason because VR and VL are not in phase. They aren't in phase. In a similar mannerism, if you sketch an RC circuit like this, an RC circuit like this, then this is how what? VR. This is what? VC. This is V. But my dear, you cannot write V equal to VR plus VC. Reason, VR and VC aren't in phase. Aren't in phase. Then how to write, sir? सॉल्यूशन बेटा बताओ सर. मुद्दा प्रॉब्लम तो समझाई, प्रॉब्लम का आंसर भी बताओ. दे दिया, ये रहा. देखो सीरीज में है तो सीरीज में भाई मेरे करंट जाएगा सेम. द करंट इज सपोज टू बी सेम दोनों में. अब इसमें कोई डाउट नहीं है, सेम करंट है दोनों में. ठीक, अच्छा सर समझ में आ गई. फिर अच्छा तो सर करंट को ऐसे बना रहे, बना लो. तो फिर वोल्टेज अक्रॉस द रेजिस्टेंस, मान लो इंडक्टर नहीं होता तो फिर वीआर कहां होती है? सर वीआर होती है जहां होता है करंट. अच्छा सर याद आई, प्योर रेजिस्टेंस में होता है सर ऐसा. वेरी गुड. और ऐसा मानो मैं कह रहा हूं तो मानो कि रेजिस्टेंस नहीं है और ये प्योर इंडक्टर है, तो फिर क्या होगा? तो फिर आई और वीएल में क्या फर्क होता है? याद आई ये वाला. आई और वीएल में क्या होता है? सर वीएल होती है आगे. सर वीआर तो इधर होती है, वीएल होती है आगे. इज लीडिंग सर, इज लीडिंग मतलब सर द वीएल इज हियर. VL is here, and now we understand that VL and VR are not in the same phase. They are not in the same phase. दोनों के क्रॉस करंट सेम है. So kept out current in the same phase, but the VR and VL does not come in the same phase. If this is I, VR तो यहां आता है, VL इधर आता है. So VR and VL are not in same phase. So what to do? So use a J operator. So how do I write? The voltage will be equal to VR. Starting from here, VR. अब क्या करें? सर ये तो भाग गया आगे. कितना आगे भाग गया? सर 90 भाग गया आगे. So plus of JVL. So how do we read it? That VR and VL are not in phase? Of course they are not in phase. But who is leading who? VL is leading VR. Why? Because it is 90 ahead. Plus J means 90 ahead. Yes sir, that's a cool way of writing. Yes sir, by the J operator. सर इसमें कैसे होगा? इसमें भी देखो बेटा करंट सेम है, सीरीज सर्किट है, करंट सेम है, पर इस बार VR और VC है. तो अगर तो ऐसा होता कि खाली रेजिस्टेंस सर्किट होता तो VR तो वही होता. लेकिन अगर खाली कैपेसिटेटिव होता तो फिर सर उसकी वोल्टेज लैग करती है. सर याद करते हैं, करंट इधर तो VR इधर तो VL इधर तो VC इधर. VR VL VC, VR VL VC, VC VL VR. इतना तो सर हमें पता है. सो वेयर इज VC? सर हेयर. Oh, so it's very clear, sir, that they are not 10 phase. The solution is less only one.
बीच में से skip हुआ है कोई चीज 4 बार
4 times.
4 टाइम skip हुआ है.
VC is lagging VR. What is VC? VC is lagging VR. So if the VC is lagging VR, how do we write it? We write V as equal to VR. And how do we write? There is supposed to be lagging. So lagging means how much? That should be minus of J. Leading means what? Plus J. Lagging means what? Minus J. So that is VR minus of J VC. Now it's understood, and how do we read it? We read it like this is minus J. That means this is lagging VR by 90. This is plus J. So VL leads VR by 90. J operator is a phase operator by pi by 2 only. So VL leads VR by pi by 2. VC lags because this is minus J. So VC lags VR by pi by 2. We mentioned in this VL leads VR by pi by 2. And in this VC lags VR by pi by 2. Now, so how do we write the net voltage? The question is, how do I write the net voltage? So the net voltage in this should be equal to root of VR square plus of VL square. Why, sir? From here, you can use like analogous to the parallelogram law of the vector addition and show the result for this. If you use the parallelogram law of vector addition, this should be your net voltage. And how do you get that? That is by Pythagoras. So what is that equal to? Root of VR square plus VL square. Similarly in this case, this is your parallelogram and this is the resultant, that is V. So what is that V value equal to? That should be equal to root of VR square and plus VC square. So over here again V should become root of VR square plus VC square. So that's easy. What is along the X, what is along the Y? Who is along the X always? Resistance. The way we have created it. And who is along the Y? Either inductance, either capacitance. Either inductance here and either capacitance here. And both of these are virtual. Who? The inductor and capacitor. Why? Because we assumed it as an ohmic. Remember the last lecture. When you write VL, how do you write? Do you write this as I into XL? You assumed this. It wasn't like this. It was L di upon dt, but you assumed it. In the same mannerism, what is VC? That is I into XC. You assumed it. It wasn't like this. It was Q by C. That means that's not a real character. That's an assumed character. That's an assumed analogous ohmic character. So it's not a real character. So hence, how do we explain that in a simplistic mannerism? In a holistic mannerism, that is by using the J operator. How come? By attaching J with such assumed character. So the VL has that J attached and the VC has that J attached, and every time that VL and VC is plotted along Y. So I promise that idea. That this will be labeled as what? A real axis. Real axis here, and this one is supposed to be what? An imaginary axis. What is it? It's an imaginary axis. So that means a J operator is used where imaginary axis. तो बड़ा simple हो गया सर. जिसके साथ में J लगा होगा मतलब वो imaginary part of the circuit है, virtual part of the circuit है, और जिसके साथ नहीं लगा है मतलब वो real part of the circuit है. Yes, that's a depth article. ओवरऑल आप कैसे भी उसको रीड कर लें, पर अगर कोर बात समझनी है, किसी भी क्वेश्चन में नहीं अटकना है, तो यह मुद्दा बहुत ही जरूरी है, बहुत ही जरूरी है जो समझाया है, और ये आपके जीवन को आसान कर देगा। हाँ, शुरू में जरूर लगेगा कि सर एक्स्ट्रा पढ़ना पड़ रहा है, बुक में ऐसा नहीं दिया, वहां तो सीधा सर ऐसे लिख दिया, सीधा बता दिया हमें टीचर ने कि ऐसे लिख लो। पर बेटा कैसे लिख लो, बाद में क्वेश्चन आएगा, फाइंड इफेक्टिव रियल पार्ट ऑफ द सर्किट, वर्चुअल पार्ट ऑफ द सर्किट, अब पर बत्ती गुल हो जाएगी, अब नहीं होगी। रीजन वी अंडरस्टैंड, इमेजिनरी एक्सिस मींस जे, ऊपर प्लस ऑफ जे, नीचे माइनस ऑफ जे, सिंपल, बिकॉज दिस इज गोइंग टू बी द लीडिंग, दिस इज गोइंग टू बी लैगिंग, सो दिस विल बी रिप्रेजेंटेड बाय प्लस ऑफ जे, this will be represented by minus of j. It looks so good, it feels so good when the concepts merge and the learning becomes easier. So learning has become easier, concepts are merging. Imaginary axis, j operator, real axis, only resistance, inductor, capacitor, great, cool. तो चलो अब करते हैं शुरू एनालिसिस कॉम्बिनेशन की। अकेले अकेले तो क्या पढ़े, वो तो प्योर इंडक्टर झूठ बोल रहे हैं, प्योर कैपेसिटर झूठ बोल रहे हैं, ऐसा हो थोड़ी सकता है। एवरी इंडक्टर हैज अ फाइनाइट रेजिस्टेंस, कोई भी कॉइल लोगे ऐसा तो हो ही नहीं सकता ना, कम हो सकती है रेजिस्टेंस, आप ओवर कर सकते हो कि इंडक्टेंस बढ़ा दो, रेजिस्टेंस कम कर दो, गायब, मुश्किल है। आगे जैसे कैरेक्टर्स है मुश्किल, अबे कितने लोग यूज कर लेंगे ऐसा, कॉस्ट भी तो बढ़ेगी फिर। प्रैक्टिकल। So, let's begin the day with the RLAC circuit. Begin तो बहुत पहले हो चुका है, आज का जो मुद्दा है that's RL. RL कहां यूज होता है, where do we use it? Choke coil. We use it in the choke coil. So that's the circuit of a choke coil. The entire voltage is divided into VR plus VL, but not in the mannerism V equal to VR plus VL. But how come? I told you. So now keeping that intact, that's a series circuit. And the voltage input is V as V naught sine omega t. That's the voltage input. And we have to finally reach where? Current. Okay. तो करें, शुरू करते हैं। कैसे? V लिखते हैं भाई, V कैसे आएगा? तो V कैसे आएगा? That is VR plus J into V. Already explained idea. Already explained idea. करंट दोनों में सेम है, पर वोल्टेज सेम फेज में नहीं है। If this is your current, so the VR is over here and the VL is here. That's a phasor for it. That's a phasor for it. Easy phasor for it. And how do you write it? That the VL is leading the VR by pi by 2. And so what happens? We need to complete this parallelogram. So we complete this parallelogram, and what do? We find this resultant, and that will be V. So the value for the V from here, so I am writing V as equal to VR plus J into VL. So the value for the V will be root of VR square and plus of VL square, and you can think of mentally as like a vector addition. But the thing is, you can just think of it, but it is actually what? A phasor addition. And that's what we have learned. Learning is premium. That's root VR square plus VL square. That's the reading. You can apply a voltmeter over here. That's V1. You can apply a voltmeter over here, V2. Of course, that is going to be the hot wire voltmeter. So V is supposed to be nothing but root of V1 square plus of V2 square. This is how the voltmeter reading is going to generate to you the reading over here. Cool? Yes sir. And V is not equal to VR plus VL. वो भूलना नहीं भाई, इतनी मेहनत करने के बाद में सब कुछ खराब मत कर देना कि ये लगा रहे, बिल्कुल नहीं लगाना है। तो सर ये तो आगे समझ, अब बढ़ो आगे। ठीक है भाई, बिल्कुल आगे बढ़ता है। सर ये बताओ, सर इनमें फेज डिफरेंस आता क्यों है? बेटा समझा दो कैसे आता है। नहीं सर थोड़ा और समझना, थोड़ा और बताओ कि सर ये एक्चुअली है क्या मामला। मैंने कहा देखो बेटा, करंट की तो कहानी है नहीं, कोई करंट तो यहां पे बैक स्ट्रीट पे चला गया क्योंकि दोनों पे सेम है, ठीक, वो तो यूनिफॉर्म बिहेवियर हो गया दोनों पे, ठीक, सीरीज है क्योंकि पैरेलल में बदल जाएगा पर अभी तो सीरीज है, तो इसलिए मेंशन करो भाई सर सीरीज एसी सर्किट है। सिंपल नोट बोलना कि एलआर सर्किट है, सिंपल नोट बोलना कि एलआर सर्किट है, एलआर एसी है और एसी में भी सीरीज है, तो ये मुद्दा है। अब मुद्दे की गहराई नापते हैं। वीआर कैसे लिखेंगे सर? ओमिक आई इंटू आर। और वीएल कैसे लिखेंगे? हाँ सर पता है हमें, क्या पता है सर? वो एज्यूम्ड वाला ओमिक, एज्यूम्ड वाला है नहीं सर, एज्यूम्ड वाला कैसे? आई इंटू एक्सएल सर। ये बात, ये समझे आप, और ये है सही जड़। सर इसको कैसे लिखोगे? यहां गाड़ी अटक गई भाई, इसको लिखना नहीं आता, इसको कैसे लिखे सर? आई इंटू मतलब नेट वोल्टेज किसके बराबर है? आई इंटू वॉट? आई इंटू वॉट इज आर सर? ऑपोजिशन। आई इंटू एक्सएल, वॉट इज एक्सएल? ऑपोजिशन। आर किसकी ऑपोजिशन? रेजिस्टेंस की। एक्सएल किसकी ऑपोजिशन? इंडक्टर की। पूरे सर्किट की ऑपोजिशन, नया नाम ढूंढो। पूरे सर्किट की ऑपोजिशन, नया नाम ढूंढो। इंपिडेंस, क्या नाम आया? इंपिडेंस। व्हाट इज जेड? इंपिडेंस। मैंने बोला था ना नाम बहुत बढ़िया है, बहुत बढ़िया है, ऑर्डिनरी नाम नहीं है राम श्याम, राइट? सो इट इज अ गुड नेम, दैट इज इंपिडेंस। So what happens? I cancel. So what do we get? We get Z as equal to R plus J XL. Now, what do we learn from here? That Z is known as the effective opposition to the flow of AC by the combined electrical components. अच्छा, उसमें से कुछ पार्ट रियल है, आर इज अ रियल पार्ट, कुछ पार्ट वर्चुअल है, इंडक्टर इज अ वर्चुअल पार्ट, एक्सएल इज द ऑपोजिशन बाय इंडक्टेंस, आर इज द ऑपोजिशन बाय द रेजिस्टेंस मतलब रेजिस्टर. सो व्हाट इज जेड? इट इज अ नेट ऑपोजिशन बाय देम कंबाइंड. सो द इंपेडेंस इज द नेट ऑपोजिशन to the flow of AC by LCR components. सर अभी तो इसमें C नहीं है, आगे वो भी आएगा, पर बात तो एक ही बार बताऊं ना कि Z होता क्या है. Z होता है नेट ऑपोजिशन. भाई तीन ही चीजें हैं, एक रेजिस्टेंस, एक कैपेसिटर, एक इंडक्टेंस. तीनों मिलजुल के जिस व्यवहार से, जिस बिहेवियर से शिद्दत के साथ एसी को, फ्लो को अपोज करते हैं, उस बिहेवियर को हम इंपेडेंस बोलते हैं. उसके अंदर जो चीजें छुपी हैं, एक रियल रेजिस्टेंस जिससे हीटिंग इफेक्ट आते हैं, और दूसरा कौन सा? रिएक्टेंस. फिलहाल अभी कौन सा रिएक्टेंस है? इंडक्टिव. पर इसमें दोनों छुपे हैं. लेकिन मजेदार बात, ये आर और एक्सएल क्योंकि एक रियल एक इमेजिनरी है, क्योंकि जे लगा है, तो ये दोनों सेम फेज में नहीं है, ये दोनों सेम फेज में नहीं है. और ये है मुद्दा, ये है कोर. द कोर आइडिया इज दैट द बिहेवियर ऑफ अ रेजिस्टर एंड एन इंडक्टर डज नॉट मैच. बिल्कुल नहीं होता, डीसी में भी नहीं होता. रेजिस्टर बेसिकली ऑपोजिट्स द फ्लो ऑफ करंट एंड इंडक्टर ऑपोजिट्स अ वेरिएशन ऑफ करंट. तो बिहेवियर सेम है ही नहीं, लेकिन अब मजबूरी में कंबाइन कर रहे हैं. तो बताओ ना कि भाई एक बंदा आगे है, एक में एल डी आई अपॉन डी टी आता है, मतलब करंट को डिफरेंशिएट करके डी आई अपॉन डी टी आता है, तो वो बंदा आगे है. तो क्यों आगे है? क्योंकि उसका डिजाइन ऐसा है. उसका डिजाइन मतलब एक्सेल, इसका डिजाइन मतलब आर. सो द कंपोनेंट्स, द व्हाट यू डिजाइन, जो यहां प्लेस करा है, जो एक्चुअल सर्किट में कंस्ट्रक्ट करा है, वहां से फेज डिफरेंस की शुरुआत है. वहीं से वो आगे जाके वोल्टेज में अपीयर हो रहा है. क्या बोल रहा हूं? वोल्टेज में अपीयर हो रहा है, क्योंकि आप इसको तो रिकॉर्ड कर नहीं पा रहे ना, आप रेजिस्टेंस की डिवाइस तो नहीं बना रहे, आप एक्सेल की डिवाइस नहीं बना रहे, आप डिवाइस किसकी बना रहे हो? आप डिवाइस है वोल्ट मीटर। तो आपको उसकी रीडिंग से ये रिजल्ट मिल रहा है, ये वाला नहीं मिल रहा, तो आपको पता चला कि हाँ भाई वो सेम फेज में नहीं थे, तो असली जड़ ढूंढी तो अंदर से पता चला सिंस रेजिस्टेंस एंड इंडक्टेंस आर नॉट इन फेज, एंड दैट्स द कोर रीजन। सो यहां से Z कैसे लिखेंगे बेटा? जैसे ये लिखा, ये कहां आएगा? X पे, ये कहां पे? Y पे। सीधे भी लिख सकते हो यहां से। ये बना क्या देखो, ये साइड क्या है? VL, ये साइड क्या है? VR, और ये क्या है? V। सर ये तो वेक्टर की तरह बना दिया, मैंने तो बोला था टेंसर है, वेक्टर की तरह बिहेव कर सकता है वोल्टेज। अब कोई पूछे, बताओगे सर वोल्टेज तो स्केलर होती है, पोटेंशियल तो स्केलर होता है, करंट तो स्केलर होता है, टेंसर होता है। टेंसर, व्हाट इज दिस? दैट्स अ वोल्टेज ट्रायंगल। इट्स अ वोल्टेज ट्रायंगल। नाउ हाउ डू यू राइट VR? That is I into R. How do you write VL? That is I into XL. How do you write V? That is I into Z. तो I उड़ा दो दिया, तो बचा क्या सर? ट्राइंगल तो रह गया, ट्राइंगल तो रह गया, पर इस तरफ अब हम XL लिख लेते, करंट उड़ा दिया हमने, करंट तो सर सेम ही है। इधर R रख लिया, IR का R रख लिया, इधर IZ का Z रख लिया। ये कैरेक्टर है सर, देखो R प्लस JXL, सही है कि नहीं? 90 आगे प्लस JXL, एंड दिस इज अ रिजल्टेंट, दैट इज Z। अब एरो मत बनाओ, क्योंकि वेक्टर तो बोल नहीं रहे ना, फेजर बोल रहे हैं, बना लो, कोई गलती तो है नहीं। This is known as what? That is new thing and important for solving. This is known as impedance triangle. What it is known as? Impedance triangle, and that's what is going to be your lifeline for the remaining all circuits. The impedance triangle. What is the impedance triangle? Gives you the value for the net impedance. वो कैसे आएगी? Pythagoras. V की वैल्यू कैसे आएगी? Pythagoras. Z की वैल्यू कैसे? पाइथागोरस। Z becomes equal to what? रूट ऑफ R स्क्वायर प्लस XL स्क्वायर। सर देखो, हम अपने आप पढ़ते से आता तो होता है, पर जब बता देते हो तो बात बिल्कुल खुल के सामने आ जाती है, उसे बहुत आसान हो जाता है, रीजनिंग बैठ जाती है कि अच्छा ऐसा था। नहीं तो ऊपर से लग रहा था कि सर ऐसा था, अच्छा हमें लग रहा था VR और VR में बेसिकली है जो फेज है गड़बड़, लेकिन पता चला सारा मुद्दा तो डिजाइनिंग का है कि किस तरीके से R और L की वैल्यूज डिजाइन है, वही तो कंस्ट्रक्शन ऑफ द सर्किट है, वहीं से फेज डिफरेंस उत्पन्न होता है। चलो ये भी सही है सर। सर अब हमें ये समझ में आ रही है कि ये एंगल निकाल लेते हैं। क्यों भाई, क्यों निकाले? सर आप प्लॉट तो भूल गए कि प्लॉट क्या था। प्लॉट ये था सर कि ये इनपुट है, दिस इज इनपुट, आपने आउटपुट लिखना था, आप भूल गए, आपने करंट लिखा ही नहीं है। सही कह रहे हो, सही कह रहे हो। करंट कैसे लिखें? सर देखो, करंट लिखोगे V बाई Z से, V बाई Z से। अच्छा करंट और वोल्टेज क्या सेम फेज में है? नहीं सर, IVR सेम फेज में, VL इज लीडिंग द नेट वोल्टेज, दिस इज अ नेट वोल्टेज एंड दिस इज अ नेट करंट, नेट वोल्टेज, दे हैव अ फेज डिफरेंस ऑफ 5, नॉट pi by 2, not pi by 2. VL leads current by pi by 2. VR is in the phase of the current. This is net V. This is leading the current by 5. Leading. This is leading. This is leading. Who is leading? Voltage. By what phase? 5. How do you get that 5? Either from here. Either from here. एक ही बात आएगी, यहां से tan phi ले लो। सो VL by VR, what is tan of phi? As VL upon VR. अब VL को कैसे लिखोगे? VL is equal to I into XL, VR is I into R, I and I cancel, क्या बना? XL by R, same है। So you have tan of phi as equal to XL upon R. The same, XL upon R. Once again, this is tan of phi from here, repeating. That is VL upon VR. What is VL? IXL. And what is VR? IR. So I gets cancelled, that becomes XL by R. That can be seen directly from here. That tan of phi is equal to XL by R from this particular triangle. Directly from here. So that's the importance of the impedance triangle. So what's the importance of the impedance triangle? It has two importance. The first importance, it generates the value for impedance. Second, it generates the phase phi. It generates the phase phi. So second. I think there is some little lag which I have been observing as told by the students. I think now it is fine. Now it is fine. In between it is coming a lag, a little lag over there. Now I think it is fine. Okay. So the importance of the impedance triangle. The importance of the impedance triangle is supposed to be two parts. First thing, it gives us the value for the impedance, the net impedance, and the second, it gives us the phase difference between the voltage and the current. The phase difference between the voltage and the current. I will be uploading this lecture later on also completely. So if there is a little part which has skipped up, you can follow that also. Okay. So we construct the impedance triangle. Where here we have XL, this is R, and this is Z, and this is phi, and we calculate a value for that tan phi that's equal to XL upon R. And from the resultant diagram, we have checked upon that if this was the current, then this is the voltage, net voltage, and there is a phase difference of phi, and the voltage is leading. So we say the V. What is V? The net voltage of the LR circuit leads the current by the phase of phi, not pi by 2. By the phase of phi. Phi can be anything. 30 degree, 45 degree, 60 degree, anything. That is for the combined circuit. And how do we calculate that phi from here? Ulta bhi hai. You can also write current lags the voltage by the phase of phi, and this will allow me to write the expression of the current. See, the voltage expression is V is equal to V naught sine of omega t. That's a voltage input expression. So how do I write the current expression? That should be I naught into sine of omega t. Further, this is going to help me out. Then how does the current behave? It lags. It lags the voltage by phi. Lags. So it should be minus of phi. This is a phase of the voltage omega t, and the current lags the phase of the voltage by phi. So hence minus of phi. That is your output equation. And how do I write I naught? I naught I know how to write. That should be V naught by net opposition. If it would have been pure resistance, then V naught by R. Pure inductance, V naught by XL. But it said combined L and R. So I must be using what? Impedance. What is I? V by Z. So what will be I naught equal to? I naught will be V naught by Z. So hence instead of I naught, we have V naught by Z. Where do we get Z from here? What is the value for that Z? That is root of R square plus of XL square into sine of omega t minus phi. Where do I get the phi? Here. what is phi equal to? Tan inverse of XL upon R. Where I get both these important terms from this triangle. What is that known as? The impedance triangle. What is there in the impedance triangle? On the Y part we have the reactance, on the X part we have the resistance. The real part, the imaginary part. Now just substitute the value for Z. What is Z from here? That's root of R square plus of XL square into sine of omega t minus of phi from here. That's tan inverse of XL upon R, and that becomes your output equation. This is your input and this is what your output equation. Good, sir. That's input and output. Input and output. This is the input and this is the output. What all did we require? We required a value for Z. We checked that from the impedance triangle. The first importance of it, it gives us a value for Z. And then we required a phase difference, and that too we get it from here. From the impedance triangle. What is that? Tan phi equal to XL by R. Tan phi is always equal to what? Reactance upon resistance. Repeating again. Tan phi is equal to what? The reactance upon the resistance. So that's X upon R. In this circuit, the X is XL. If it be capacitive, that means RC circuit, then instead of XL you will get XC. Conditions will change. We will look then when you will be doing that. Right now we have checked in the LR circuit the current lags the voltage by phase of phi, hence it is sine of omega t minus phi. Had it been a cos function, this will be cos of omega t minus phi. Whatever it is. Had this been sine of omega t plus 60, sine of omega t plus 60, it will be sine of omega t plus 60 minus of phi. Whatever the phase of the voltage is, the current is going to lag by the phase of phi. So that's what is the behavior of the LR circuit. LR circuit in AC series circuit. Now what have we done is, we have constructed a waveform looking at the same condition. What condition? The voltage is V0 sine of omega t. So first of all, we create the graph for voltage. So that's the ritual as we have been sketching for ages, for the pure R, pure L, pure C, the same thing. We sketch the same thing. And this is supposed to be the peak of it. What is the peak of it? That is V0. That's a V0. And now I wish to sketch for the current. So what is the current equal to? The current is equal to I0 into sine of omega t minus of phi. I0 into sine of omega t minus of phi. So it is lagging by the phase of phi. So let me place t equal to 0. If I place t equal to 0, the instantaneous voltage is 0. So it starts from here. If I place t equal to 0 in the current function, that becomes I0 into sine of minus phi. And what is sine of minus phi? Minus sine phi. So that's minus I0 sine phi. So it does not have the maximum value at t equal to 0. Does not have the maximum value at t equal to 0. So let me sketch the graph for the current now. So if I sketch in the graph for the current now, over here, so the current graph is supposed to be not starting from the peak at t equal to 0. Since it is not starting from the peak, so that's minus I0 sine phi, so it starts somewhere from here. Maybe this was the peak, but it's not starting from there. So where does it get the peak? Later on. Later on, as the time increases. So there will be some time instant when phi will cancel with omega t. And then as the time increases, so you get somewhere I equal to I naught. So that peak will come earlier or later. Means, see, this is a peak of V naught. So at this instant, that is pi by 2, that is at omega ts pi by 2, we are getting the peak of the V naught. So when will we get the peak of current? Later. Reason, it is lagging. So how do we interpret the lagging and the leading? See, whosoever peak is occurring earlier will be leading. And the peak of this is occurring later. So it will be lagging. Who's? The current. And that's way you can construct the graph. So like this. So the peak is occurring later. It will be constructed again. It will construct again this. For this, the peak is occurring later. So let's say the peak is occurring somewhere here. So the graph for this is supposed to be like this. Where if I backtrace the graph, then you will get here. So this is the peak, that is minus I naught, the lower peak. But it does not start from there. It starts from this point. What is this? That is minus I naught sine phi. From where the graph is starting. And then it gets a peak here. So that becomes plus I naught. But it gets the peak at a later time in comparison to V naught. And therefore, this phase difference is supposed to be phi. Where they are in peak. So this phase difference, this is a peak, this is a peak. This phase difference is supposed to be phi. Is it difficult to locate in this? Yes, it is. Of course, you can sketch this graph further and take this particular graph further like this. Right? Further like this. Further like this. But it will be different to identify. I made you identify the easy way around. That you need to check what the peaks, and from the peaks you need to check what is the phase difference. Easy way around. But the easiest is supposed to be via this phasor. What phasor? That's a relative phasor. So via this relative phasor, we're able to see the phase difference easy. This was VL. This is VR. The net voltage is here, that is V. How do we write I into Z? And then this is the current and the net voltage. And what is the phase difference? That is phi. And that always remains the same. Always remains the same means if we even moves further, then also you can identify from here. That this is a peak, negative peak. So this is once again the same phase difference phi. Over here, this is once again the same difference phi. So you can observe it anywhere. And similar to this, if suppose we have taken the voltage here. So let's say the voltage is here now. So the current will be here. And this phase is phi. And this is still leading it. So the voltage is still leading the current by the phase of phi. So that is observable in the waveform also. That is a relative waveform. And that is also observable in the case of the relative phasor more easily. And therefore we learn that we try to sketch the relative phasor easily. Since this is lagging a lot, so I'm closing the lecture right now because I think the live interaction will not be possible with this particular lagging. So I will be taking the live interaction tomorrow from here. Okay, so I'm closing down this particular session, reason because of the lagging internet over here, right? So whatever part we have learned, I'll be re-uploading this after couple of hours. After couple of hours, this will be re-uploaded such that you are able to follow this completely, whatever portion you have skipped on, right? So I'm closing the session right now.